Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Mustafa and you are watching my tutorial. In this video we will learn about Angular built-in directives. So what actually directives is? So this is the definition of directives. Directives extends behavior of a specific DOM element. It gets executed when Angular compiler finds it in the DOM. If you don't understand it, don't worry, I will do a practical demo for the same and I will make sure that you understand at the end of this video. There are three kinds of directives in Angular: component directives, attribute directives, and the structural directives. In this video, I will cover structural directives. What is structural directives? Structural directives modify the behavior of DOM by removing or adding element to it. It manipulates DOM object model. So we will see in a practical example that how it manipulates DOM. So there are three kinds of structural directives that we will learn in this video: ngIf, ngSwitch, and the ngFor. And remember that structural directives start with asterisks. ngIf directive is used when you want to add or remove an element based on condition. If the condition is false, the element the directive is attached will be removed from the DOM. Means the element on which the directive is attached will be removed from the DOM. And this is the syntax. If you see, it is started from the start. So this is the identification of structural directives. It will start from star. The next directive we have ngSwitch directives. ngSwitch is a directive that displays one element from a possible set of elements based on the condition. So if you see, here I am using ngSwitch, and here I will write the expression. And ngSwitch case will evaluate if the condition is true, that paragraph will be displayed. So we will do a practical demo for the same and will understand in a great detail. The next one we have ngFor. ngFor directives enable us to iterate over array or object or a collection. And this is the syntax. So we will see how it works in a practical example. So now let's move to Visual Studio Code, where we will see how all these three directives works. This is the app.component.html on which I will work. So let's flip to app.component.html. Here if you see, I am using ngIf structural directives and I am passing value as true in the first h1 tag, and in the second h1 tag I am passing false value. Let's run this example and flip to browser. Here you can see that we are able to see only one h1. If you inspect this element, you can see that we have only one h1 element, because in the first paragraph I am passing true and we are able to see this output. In the second one I am passing false. So if you pass false, ngIf structural directive will not display that element. If you see this definition, now you will be able to understand that what actually ngIf does. ngIf directive is used when you want to display or remove, means when you want to add or remove an element based on a condition. So here what I am doing, I am providing a true, so this h1 element will be displayed, and for the second one I am passing false, so this will not be displayed. So let me change both of them to true. Save the changes, and now you can see that we are able to see both the h1 tags. Now that here I am doing hard coding, I have hard coded this true and the false. So what next we can do, let me uncomment this line of code, and here you can see that this is a property that I have declared in the component show name. And if you see, this show name property holds true value. So what will happen, because this holds true value, it will display this h1 tag. Save the changes, and when you come to browser, you can see that mytutorial.com is coming here. If you make this property as false, if you save the changes, when you come here, you will not be able to see anything on the screen. Why? Because I changed the property from true to false. The next example we are going to see, this is little different. So if you see, I am using structural directives ngIf, and I am using country array. So what this country array is, let's look into that first. If you flip to app.component.ts, here you can see that I have an array called country array, and this holds a list of countries. So now let's come to app.component.html. If you see what I am checking here, if the country.length equal to 0, then show me this text. In the second div, what I am doing, if the country dot length is greater than 0, then show me this two hard-coded value. So if you save the changes and flip to browser, you can see that I am able to see India and the US, because this country array has 4 elements. The length is, greater than 0. That's the reason we are able to see text inside this div element. Now let me delete all of them and save the changes. Now you can see that no country to display we are able to see on the screen. Why? Because this condition is getting satisfied as of now. Because the length is 0 and we are able to see this output. As of now, you can see that I have hard-coded this value. As we move ahead, I will show you how we can read value dynamically from array. If you have any question, please write below in the comment. I will be happy to answer that. Next directive we are going to learn is ng-switch. So let us understand what actually we are doing in the first line of code. So if you see, I am using ng-switch directives, and in the expression I am writing country. So let's see in the component app.component.ts what this country is. So this country, this is a property that holds India. So what will happen now, in the expression I am giving this country property that holds India, and in the ng-switch case I am comparing this value. So if you see inside the double quote, I am using single quote. So I am comparing this value, that if this country holds India, it will show this paragraph. If it holds US, it will display this paragraph. So from all this possible value, whatever the condition is getting satisfied, that paragraph will be displayed. If none of them is getting satisfied, by default, ng-switch default will be rendered. So as of now, I have India here. So this paragraph will be rendered. So save the changes and flip to browser, where you can see India is coming as of now. In the property, let us modify US. Now that I modify this country property to US, now that this condition will be matched and we will be able to see United States in the screen. Here we go. Now let me change US1. As of now, here I am not comparing US1, so by default unknown should be displayed. And you can see that we are able to see unknown. So I hope you understand how ng-switch directives works. And if you see, here I am using a star before ng-switch case. The next directive we are going to learn is ng-for directives. So as we know from the definition that ng-for directives enable us to loop through array or a collection or an object. Here if you see, I am using ng-for directives, and this let is the ECMAScript new feature. This is the variable. So this name can be anything. I can write even cust also of country array. So this is the source. So if you come to app.component.ts, here you can see that I had this country array. So let me undo this code, and now I have country array. So this holds India, US, UK and the UAE. Save the changes here. Please make sure that whenever you make any changes, save the file. Now what will happen? This ng-for directives will loop through this array. In the first loop, it will have first value, that is India. In the second loop, it will have US. In the third one, US, UK, so on and so forth. And if you see here, I am using interpolation, and using the interpolation, I am displaying this value. So I will change the name here now because I modified this one. You can see that we are able to see India, US, UK and the UAE. This was the simple example where I was iterating over array. So what if I want to iterate over an object? So if you see this example, the second one, here I am using, the same syntax. And if you see, the source is customers. So let's see what this customer is. Come to app.component.ts, and here you can see that customer is an array of objects. So if you see, this is an array. So this is an array, and this array holds an object. So if you see, this is an individual object, this is an individual object. And this object has some properties like first name, last name and the age. And this property holds value. So now let's come to app.component.html. So what will happen? So in the first loop, it will read this value. In second one, it will read second object, and in the third one it will read third object, and so forth if you have more objects. Save the changes and flip to browser. Here you can see that we are able to see object 3 times. So this 3 times is fine because we have 3 objects here. But why we are able to see object? See, this is an object, right? We are simply displaying this object. So what we will have to do, if you see this object hold first name. So I will have to read, customer dot first name, because see, these customers hold first name, last name, and the age. I am repeating here, these customers, when it loops through, it contains an object, whole object, first name, last name, and the age. So if we want to read property of the object, I will have to use this first name. I cannot simply write customer. I will use all the object in the same way. So I have first name, then I have, last name, then I have age. Save the changes and flip to browser. Here you can see that now we are able to see the exact output. I hope that you are able to understand it. This is the same example that we saw now. Here also I am using customer only. So let me take the code from here. If you see, we are able to see the same output. So here I want to address few more things. If I want to read index, how we can do it? If this is the syntax, so I will use let I equal to index, and here in using the interpolation I will write I. Save the changes and you can see that we are able to see index also, like 0, 1, and 2. If you come here, you can see that Muhammad is in the 0 index, Amol in the first, and the Guru Ras in the second index. In the same way, if you want to read first and the last element, I can use let f equal to first. You can give any name as you want. If you want, you can give fi. But this is mandatory. This index and the first, I can say that this is the Angular keyword. So we have to use as it is. And now let me use fi here. Save the changes and come to browser. Here you can see that this is the first element and we are able to see true. For the second and the third element, we are able to see false, that is expected. In the same way, if we want to read last, I can simply modify here last. I will change the name as well, L, and I will simply write L here. Save the changes and come to browser. You can see that this is the last element and we are able to see true here. So that's it from structural directives. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.